Hi, I'm Jen May Pastoris, and I'm happy to be answering some of these questions that you guys have here. First question asks, how did I begin working as a photographer? My career in photography began in college. I was studying to be a journalist and a writer, and during that time, I was the photo editor for the campus newspaper. I also had this really fun internship working for a photography magazine in Hollywood. But at the time of graduation, it was the recession, so finding a journalism job was actually quite difficult. And what it led me to, what kind of opened up for me, was really out of left field, but I got hired to be a photographer for this wedding studio. And surprisingly, I came to love it so much because I was able to take this photojournalism approach to wedding photography, and so that was really exciting for me. In fact, it inspired me to start my own photography business at 22, and that really jump-started my career. Second question asks, what advice do I have for someone like you who's beginning their journey of becoming like me? And how I see this question is, what advice do I have for someone who wants to become a photographer? The first and important thing, well, the most important thing that comes to mind is to not compare yourself to other people. Nowadays, it's so easy to kind of scroll on Instagram and look at other people's work, visit websites and see other portfolios that you admire, and then you try to become like them. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, but I think when you're discovering your photographic voice and trying to figure out what your style is and what kind of image making you want to do, I think, my advice is to become more like you. And this last question asks, what is the greatest misunderstanding of this job? I think there are a couple of things. When people think about photography, maybe they think of the dreamy National Geographic photographer or a fashion photographer or perhaps a photojournalist. And you can imagine it to be to be on the go a lot and really exciting, and it can be those things, but a lot of photography actually takes place behind the camera. You're doing a lot of editing on the computer, you're doing a lot of image preparing for your clients. There's also juggling the business side of it. So be prepared to do your accounting and build your own website and really network with other people so you can get new clients. And so a lot of that isn't just shooting and working with with your subjects, with your people who you're photographing, but it's also putting in the diligence and the discipline of building your photography business if you wanted to go that route. So that's the advice that I have for you guys. And thank you so much for having me, Career Chronicles. Thank you, Cora, for inviting me to be a part of this really cool initiative. If there are other questions that you guys have, feel free to connect with me. Email me at jenmay@jenmayphotography.com or find me on Instagram at jenmay and connect with me that way. I'd be happy to help. Thank you again, and mahalo.